All right. Yeah, we're getting live here. Oh, I don't have you on. Let me. Okay, there comes T Baby. I don't know. All right, all right. All right, we're getting ready to switch you live. Mic is on. You are live.
Okay. This is the Truth Be Told with myself, T Baby, here on KUAW Radio. If you have a business or an event that you'll like sponsor here on KUAW Radio, make sure that you send us an email at kuawlpfm985@gmail.com. If you're watching me live over Facebook or my Instagram live, hey Instagram. um, Hey, and if you're listening to me over the air and you like to watch me live, make sure to hop over to our Facebook page, KUAW Radio. Make sure to like, share, comment this on this video from our KUAW Facebook page. We are KUAW Radio across all major social platforms. So Instagram, YouTube, Periscope, Twitch, wherever you choose to get your entertainment. I'm pretty sure you can find us just by typing in KUAW Radio. We greatly appreciate the support that we get here on KUAW Radio. I truly appreciate the support that I get here with you guys on the Truth Be Told every Tuesday, 6 p.m. So, okay, now that I got all that out the way, I want to say congratulations to the Kansas City Chiefs. We pulled out that win. We are on to the next round of the playoffs. I'm excited about the Bills coming to town. Well, coming to Kansas City. Y'all know I'm in Texas, but coming to Kansas City this upcoming Sunday. Hopefully it should be a good game. Vegas got them odds kind of close, so we'll see what's gonna happen and how that's all gonna go and play down. I'm just excited to be back here again. I know a lot of Kansas City fans remember when we used to struggle. We used to struggle. Them playoff games, them playoff series used to be a struggle. So definitely excited about that. Let me see what else is going on. I'm trying to think what else is going on locally before I get into kind of what I want to talk about. Because what I want to talk about is probably going to take us the rest of this whole little session because it's going to go into some more, some different type of things. So I want to make sure that you guys hop over to our Facebook page. If you're on my Instagram live, whatever, I'm looking for the comments, trying to engage with you guys in this conversation. So definitely make sure hop on, like, share, so we can indulge in this conversation, right? Oh, okay. It looked like I stopped being live on Facebook. So I want to talk about, okay, one, it's a couple of things that I had to go into like this. So when I was reading this study that says people that are really into celebrities lives and things like that, they have like a lower intelligence, like that really follow celebrities, really close, like feel like they a part of their life, all kind of stuff like that. Like, okay, there we go. So yeah, all kind of things like that or whatever. They say they have a lower intelligence. And so, I was on Facebook and I kept seeing this post and they was talking about how nobody was talking about Kanye West, not being invited to his daughter's birthday party. And this is just what I just want to touch on this because I want to touch on this because our people, it's several reasons, right? This one, it opens up a good conversation about baby daddies and baby mamas and things like that, that whole dynamic of the relationship. It also opens up another dynamic of women these days. I know y'all hate when I get on here, I seem like I'll be down talking women or anything like that, but it really bothers me when women keep children away from their fathers, right? And so we're gonna get into that. But first, let's get in one. I'm gonna say Travis Scott's a real one for sending Kanye the address, you know. But the fact that people find it enough to where they saying like the world or, you know, I guess society should be talking about this particular incident, you know, and it just it makes me just think about how much of our lives are people, right? Their lives are really consumed about, you know, celebrities. Like they're to the point where you want to talk about, you know what I'm saying? You want to talk about this, like this is the discussion at the dinner table. Is that me or is that you? I think that might have been you. Okay. It just said the internet was struggling. Anyway, that this might be because that this should be an actual concern or discussion or whatever about Kanye not getting invited to his child's birthday party, right? But how often does this happen in our own community? Right? We need to sit here and think about the dynamic of the relationship. One, we know, y'all hear me talk about all the time, sexual education and how it's not taught the right way that, you know, it should be taught, right? Like you're not learning as a, you know, as a child or as a teenager. I don't know when they start learning about sex these days. I mean, kids are really advanced. Children are really advanced. You have all these things on TV. You have all these things on, you know, YouTube and the music. Like you have all these different sources of information, you know, that can be pumped into your children at any time, right? So who knows what age children really start, you know, I don't know. When I was in school, we used to have sex education in school, probably about 8th, 9th grade, health class, you know, you learn certain things or whatever in there. But as I'm saying, it's like, and I really think it's, you know, I think it's like the schools like place to really teach maybe like the health part about it. Like, yeah, you know, like health, STDs, things like that, like the health part about it, right? But I think it's up to like us as, well, not us, I'm not a parent, but as parents, you know, to govern our children and raise them up in ways that they should go, right? And what I mean by that is you can't out here and just rely on someone else to teach your child everything that they should know, or think that what they are teaching them is what's best for them, or you know, but shoot, a lot of us in our generation now, and I say us because, you know, I'm 34 years old. Normally don't tell my age. I know I don't, you know, look, but I'm 34 years old. So this is the generation that has these children that's coming up now, mostly teenagers, things like that or whatever. So our generation is the one raising them, but our generation wasn't taught. We end up having these baby daddy, baby mama relationships because we weren't properly taught about sex. And to me, that's sex education, right? A lot of us weren't. Some of us were, you know? And like I said, I know y'all heard me do a show over this before. So, and I use and say my words a lot because I gotta think about what I'm saying and how I'm saying it on this subject because they can, you know, get a little out of there, right? But anyway, so what I'm saying is, like, with society, with the schools, with, you know, I don't know, a lot of just what I see observation wise, most people look at sex as just a physical exchange of pleasure in a sense. You know, like we don't speak about the spiritual exchange or the energy exchange of what's going on during this act, what it's actually for, right? And then you get into the things of like women not really protecting who they are allowing to procreate with. Men not really being aware of who they're procreating with, you know what I'm saying? Because it's always after the baby that everybody want to start going off and being mad, or you know what I'm saying? Like, this girl crazy, da da da. Like, you didn't find this out before you decide to make her a mother. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, we gotta really try to break this cycle of baby daddy, baby mama expectations, or learn how to properly co-parent for the betterment of future generations and the betterment of, you know, the children in the situation as well. And so when I see the things like what was going on with, I didn't lost my connection. Oh, here we go. So when I see the things that was going on and like how people feel like this is things that they really should be talking about and really should be a topic of discussion, you know, things, it just, like I said, makes me feel like we have to learn a better way of developing these relationships. And really it's crazy because I was reading another post that I was going to talk about on here, and they talk about how our generation don't really have the desire for marriage, or, you know, I don't even want to say they don't have the desire for it, but we don't really live in a generation right now of dating to where marriage is a priority, to where marriages are lasting, to where relationships are even getting to the marriage stage, right? People are dating for a lot of pleasure. Like I said, it's like everything is about physical pleasure, not really thinking about the energies that you're allowing to coexist with your energy or overtake your energy that you're putting out into the world, because that does happen as well. Or anything like that. It's like those type of things are just so far gone out of mind, and it's all about just the physical pleasure. So then we end up with these little children, right? Do you know how many children in foster, or there's so many children in foster care, just like in the system, right? Because people weren't really ready for that responsibility, really wanted that responsibility, but who's responsible? You know, like, who is responsible? Actions and their decisions and what it is that they choose to do, who they choose to have intercourse with, as well, you know, right? And more conscious. I do feel like men should be more conscious of where they're planting their seed. You know, like, you plant your seed in a scanty field, like, you're not going to reap any benefits from that. Not saying that your child is not going to be, you know, well, shoot. I don't know. I don't want to say it like that, because that, I don't mean it like that, right? But you have to, or however, you have to be more responsible with who you're choosing to make a mother to your children, because the mother of a child is a child's first teacher, right? Normally, whatever kind of mindset the woman has is how that child is going to be raised, right? So if you're sitting up here, oh, I can't stand my baby mama, da 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 da, all this down talk and everything like that, you know, this is the woman that you chose to procreate with, to chose to carry on your bloodline, right? You know, and then at the same time, women do the same thing. Oh, my baby daddy this, da 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 da. Be more conscious of who you decide to have children with. Take it more of a responsibility of bringing children into the world, and not just out here running around sleeping with people for pleasure, in a sense. You know what I'm saying? Like, it just hurts my heart just seeing as the back and forth between men and women. It's like we can't even come together like to even do anything for our generation to prosper, anything like that, because we're constantly at odds with each other over things that shouldn't really be in the mix. Like, we put these things in the mix. We've been programmed. Honestly, our people have been programmed to think that this is a healthy way of living, because when you have families, when you have strong marriages, when you have strong fathers in the household, when you have strong mothers in the household, when you have a strong ideal, and I just want to bring a couple examples of what it is a couple of examples of what it is that I'm talking about, because I've seen these messages of, you know, you think about healing childhood trauma. As adults, we have to go through healing, and so we be healing these childhood traumas, right? Because so I want to see this. Okay, so I had this status saved, right? Because I seen a man say, I've never seen love growing up ever. So my mama found her husband when I was 16, meaning that her husband was not his father. Okay, father probably was nowhere around, you know, and we think that this is, for some reason, it's okay. I don't understand a man that really doesn't want to cultivate his seed, like just leaves his seed, gives up on his seed or anything like that. Like, to me, that's crazy, you know, because this is a part of you. How can you not want to raise that child to the best of your ability, right? How can you want that child to grow up feeling like they were unloved, that they never received love, you know, from that particular okay. From that, I'm sorry, I got a message on my phone. From that particular dynamic of a relationship, right? They never got to experience that. And that's a trauma that you have to live. That's a trauma that you have to live up to on, or that you have to climb your way out of as an adult, that you have to heal yourself from as an adult, so that you don't repeat these same mistakes, right? So I'm gonna continue. So my mama found her husband at 16. I've never seen my grandma with a man. I've never seen my aunties get married. I only know one uncle who was married, and we're not that close or whatever. My dad was just teaching me how to lie to his wife. So, and this is a man saying this. So he says, so when women say things like, you should know how to love a woman, how? Right? And that's a lot of things. I feel like that's a lot of reasons why relationships don't work these days, because we expect the other person to automatically know, for example, how to love a woman, how to treat a woman. You respect for your man, for your woman to know how to love a man, how to treat a man, but she ain't never seen her daddy. Her mom loved her daddy. She ain't never seen her dad. Her dad probably wasn't in her life or whatever. So she never really know that life of what a man really was. And it could be vice versa, right? It could be vice versa, just like this man, you know, status that I'm reading. He said, I never seen my mom found love. Never seen that loving relationship of knowing how to properly love a woman, because he never seen it done. Right? And so, but these are the environments that we're bringing our children up in, and then we're recreating these environments because we're out doing the same exact thing. Deciding to have babies with men who don't want to be fathers. So they're not there in the household or anything like that. Even the ideal of marriage, like people decide to have people on the side, these side chicks, side dudes. They think it's funny. Like, this is a thing that it's like a thing, you know, in our generation, right? Like, this is what you want to do. You want to see how many people you can be in a sexual relationship with. Like, I didn't even trust and believe. That's an energy exchange that I do not want. You know what I'm saying? Like, you never know. When people don't think about this, you never know what type of energy you're carrying around. You're sleeping with 4 or 5 different people and wonder why your life is in uproar. You know what I'm saying? Wondering why you're going crazy, why you can't sleep, why you're mad, why you're angry, like you get feeling like all these different emotions at once, because you're sleeping with so many different people. You got so many different energies on you that your energy don't even shine through, right? Because yours is lost, it's corrupted, you know. Like, I always, it's crazy. And then if you're like a woman, right, and you're openly just being yourself, you're allowing those energies to be implanted in you. So I'm like, how is it that, you know, we don't become more conscious of these type of things? Like, why are we not becoming more aware and acting accordingly? It says, when you know better, you do better. Well, why are we not knowing better? You know what I'm saying? Like, why are we still doing the same exact things? Finding that we can decipher the trauma within ourselves, but then we put our children, or raise our children in that same type of trauma, so that they have to be 30, 40, 30, 20, 30 years old trying to unpack or heal this past childhood trauma. They don't really know how to properly love another person. They don't, and that's why they say you got to teach. I know yesterday was Martin Luther King Day, and one of my favorite Martin Luther King quotes, and I'm probably gonna mess it up, but it was basically, it says it takes more to, hate a man. I don't know. I just seen it yesterday too. I can't think of it, but that's why I say that we have to learn how to love, right? We have to learn how to love. And when you learn how to love properly, then you will start seeing these things, and you will start really moving different once you move out of love, right? I always tell y'all, love is an energy. It's not an action. It's not a feeling. It's an energy. You know what I'm saying? Because for one, just for the love of myself, right? The love of myself, I'm not going to bring a child into the world with a man that doesn't want to be a father. One, because I love myself. You know what I mean? I wouldn't want that for my child. I wouldn't want that for something that's a continuation of me. Like that's a continuation of my generation. That's what my bloodline, everything like that. I wouldn't want to put my child coming into the world into these problems, coming into the world into trauma that they have to heal from. Most people as adults, it's hard to heal from childhood trauma, because first you got to be able to recognize the childhood trauma. You got to be able to recognize these things within yourself. That's the hardest part. Identifying or pinpointing where the trauma came from, or what actually brought it on. What is it that you need to heal yourself from? Never seen my grandma with a man. Never seen my aunties get married. Now, but I'm gonna go into this on the second half, right? Because I do have a theory that I was reading today, and it makes a lot of sense, right? So we're gonna talk about that on the second half of the show. I got about 9 more minutes till I get there. But and my dad was teaching me just how to lie to his wife. So let's see some of the comments. Or they just be talking about therapy and self-love is the ultimate real love. Let's see. A cycle like many others. When they talk about generational curses, right? We talk about generational curses and breaking generational curses and things like that, being able to recognize these generational curses and everything. But the way that I don't even know, I'm all over the place with this, but I was listening to Nas, If I Ruled the World, right? And it's that song, and it's talking about Lauryn Hill has this partnerships, like, we'll walk into the sun, holding hand in hand, you know what I'm saying? Let all my sons out of, all these things or whatever they talking about, are like our men being locked up, and just the division of our family, and how, when I'm talking about our people, right? And how it's just been programmed so much for us to not have that sense of desire to find a unconditional connection with the opposite partner, right? So it's like we're turned against each other. We're turned against each other. So it creates, but we need each other, right? It's the yin and the yang. One is not complete without the other. That's what a lot of people don't understand. You need the masculine and the feminine energy to complete the circle if you want to continue out through these generations. So we just keep going independent. Everybody want to be independent, toxic masculinity, toxic femininity, like our femininity. We got all these words and all these phrases, right? We got these songs, we got TV programs and shows and everything like that to make it seem like it's cool to have 3-4 different baby daddies and not really have a husband, right? It's cool to have 4 or 5 different baby mamas and not be in a household with any of those children. Like, it's becoming a thing to, like, this is the cool thing to do. And I just want to know, when did we get to this point And we're not even if you're not in the same household, because sometimes things just don't work out, right? Sometimes things just don't work out. I'm a product of a great step parent, right? I was raised, my stepmother was the bomb, you know what I'm saying? Like but I was raised by my daddy, you know what I'm saying? So it was like, yeah, but anyway, not saying anything against step parents and things like I said, things happen, right? But the goal, we see too much of the keeping away, because the bitterness, like you always talk about the bitter baby mama, bitter baby daddy, whatever. They want to be with you, not really with the child. So if they can't be with you, they don't want to have anything to do with the child. So you put up child support. I hate child support. I absolutely hate it. I hate the ideal of it, everything of it. No one should be forced to have to be a parent. You know what I'm saying? Point blank, period. No one should be forced to have to be a parent. We have to take more like I said, more responsibility of who you're having children with, you know, like, period. Who you having children with, you have to take more responsibility with that. So definitely it's all about accountability and responsibility and taking action, and really just what it is that you know. What's your goal? What is it that you want out of life, right? Because when you want certain things out of life, you carry yourself differently. You carry yourself like those are the things that you want. You carry yourself like those are the things that you want to do. Like I said, I hate to see the fighting and the keeping away and the court, everyone, because it hurts no one but the children. Like I said, we're just recycling all the childhood traumas that we find ourselves having to heal ourselves from, right? And we're just recreating the cycle within our own children, especially by being bitter. If you're going to withhold birthday party information, if it don't hurt, like, for instance, if Kanye West would not have shown up at that birthday party, who was going to be hurt more, Kim or Shy or Chicago? Chicago gonna be the one like, my daddy wasn't here. All because your mama didn't send them the address? Come on now. Why would you want to put your children through that pain? Women don't think about that. They don't think about the pain that they're actually causing their own children behind their bitterness. They don't think about that at all. Men, same thing. I don't like her, so I ain't going around her. I ain't gonna send nothing. You're not thinking about the impact that you're causing on your own children. So what's it gonna take? You know, it's like, how do we get ourselves, everyone asking, why don't marriages last like our grandparents, you know, generations, marriages used to last, everything like that. I see that question like 2-3 times a day, literally on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram. Literally, someone's talking about how marriages don't last that long. No one's looking for that type of love, that type of bond, blah, 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 blah. So it's like, how do we change it? Me personally, I think it's the women. I think the women, because I feel like men only do what women allow. I know a lot of men probably get mad at that statement, but if you think about it, it's really true. You know what I'm saying? It's like, if we held men to a higher standard, they will step up to meet that standard. But if we are just out here busting it open for anybody and everybody that want to see, you know what I'm saying, that want it, that, you know, then there's no standards to live up to. What you won't do, another woman will, that type of thinking, you know what I'm saying? So women that do have standards end up out here being lonely and just feeling like they not enough, feeling like they did something wrong, probably have a lot of just security issues and things like that, just because it's easier somewhere else. You know, because you got so many women that have different mentalities. They've been taught different things. Women are things. When I was growing up, my mom taught me to treasure my body. Like, my body was a temple. You can't let just anybody in the temple. You know what I'm saying? She always tell me it's the difference between the temple and the church. Everybody can go to the church. Everybody can't go to the temple. You got to be invited to the temple. You know what I'm saying? Like, everybody can't get in that temple. You know, like, baby, look. But you got to treat yourself as such. You got to carry yourself as such. to make for people to prove their worthiness, you know. And then you will kind of miss the ideal of baby daddy ain't nothing, don't take care of his kids. Probably told you he didn't want the kids in the first place. Women don't listen. Women do not listen because they think a baby keep a man. It don't. They think having this baby gonna give you one up on another woman. It won't. Not if that's the woman that he loves. It won't do nothing but cause you a whole lot of heartache and pain, cause a lot of childhood trauma for that child that's got to be raised up in this toxic environment that you created, right? Because you didn't have enough self-respect for yourself. So now you didn't created this whole toxic environment for your child to be raised in. Then we wonder why they 15 years old, 16 years old, getting pregnant, shooting people, don't know how to act, no respect for adults. Like, because they didn't grow up in this toxic environment their whole life. All this toxicity that's been planted into their mind, into their upbringing. Because a child, and I'm going to go on break after this because I know it's my time, but a child's personality is developed between the ages of 0 and 7. 7. Okay? So all this toxicity that comes in their life, because most of it is at the beginning of their life, where they have all this toxic back and forth communication, this toxic environment between their parents, right? This is what's implanted into their personality. This is why we have generations of children, 15, 16, 17, whatever, don't know how to act because of all the toxicity that has been, I don't even know if that's a word. I'm sure somebody gonna tell me, but that's been planted into their mind. It's crazy. But anyway, so we're gonna talk about this concept we're gonna talk about two things on the second half of this show. But for now, I'm gonna take a break. It's about time for me to take a break so we can pay our sponsors again. Yeah, I'll be right back. I don't even know. Oh, am I off? guys for being patient. Let us go over our sponsorships again. If you have a business or an event going on that you would like sponsored here on KUAW, make sure to send us an email at kuaw985@gmail.com. Okay, so let me see. Now I could use my phone because I done took it off of Instagram. So okay, so I want to just read through the couple of these things, and then we're gonna read them and we're gonna talk about them at the same time because it's a couple of different points, right? So it was basically it's saying that men, I guess the initial question was what went wrong with marriage in this generation. Men don't trust women, and women feel like they don't even need men anymore. So what is the spark of all this? And it says men have to now get women to like them, and a lot of men aren't likable. That one, at first I was like, where is he going with this? Right? Like you have to get them to like you, huh? Okay, so where is he going with this, right? But he said, let's be honest about the situation. How many generations of men in history have ever had to get women to like them in order to have a woman be with them? We're probably the first generations has had to ever do this, so nobody knows how to do it. So I'm like, you have to get a woman to like you. If a woman don't like you, she ain't gonna be with you. But hold on, there was more. He said, think about it. We're 2 generations removed from a woman not being able to have a bank account without a man. That was true. You know what I'm saying? You got to think about women's rights, that whole movement and everything. That just happened in what, like the 1920s or something like that, 1924 or something like that. Like prior to that timing, well, we're like 100 years from that now, I guess. Might not even have been that time, whatever. So, but prior to that, a woman couldn't even have a bank account without a man, right? Says we're 3 to 4 generations removed from when they could not buy a home, they could not work, they could not get education, they couldn't really do anything without a man. So basically, quite literally, a woman had to have a man. She had to have a man, regardless if she liked that man or not. She needed that man for survival. She needed that man to live. Now, women can do all that, and they do it a lot better than the men, right? Like women are the top amongst most educated, homeowners, business owners, all those type of things, right? So now, truthfully, they don't really need a man. They done made it to the point where you don't need a man to buy a house. You don't need a man for a bank account. You don't need a man to be educated. You don't need a man to go to the store for you. You don't need a man. You don't even need a man to protect you. For real, in these days and time, we need protecting from the men. You know what I'm saying? Like, and so now it's like men, they're not, let's see what he was saying. I don't know. So I didn't even read all of these because it was exactly as women become more financially self-sufficient, dealing with some men and all their drama becomes more of an option than a need. And men do not want to be thought of as an option. Well, I don't think women want to be thought of as an option either. You know what I'm saying? Not likable, not dateable. And the reason, but it's saying, why are they not likable, right? I was just thinking this when it says they're not likable. It's hard to get a woman to like you. But that's because they don't know how to, not act, but they don't really know how to treat, how to date, no romance, all these things that women fantasize about having in a man. You talk clear communication, like him really being able to show that he likes you, Like, that's a whole nother thing right there. Like, men and not being able to really express their emotions and really show or tell, explain how it is that they're feeling. Even, I mean, in a sense, it's really even, do they even understand it? And I'm not trying to man bash at all, but you got to understand that women and men are raised so much differently. Like, women are raised like you to become someone's wife, you know, like the ideal of becoming someone's wife, a family, like being able to run a household, things like that. This is what you learn when you washing dishes, folding clothes, budgeting books and things like that, that you learn as a teenager, that your mom instead passed down to you as a teenager. You're being groomed to be someone's wife. Men are not groomed to be a husband. They're not groomed to be husbands. They don't understand I can't even remember the last time I went out with a dude and he opened the door for me. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's crazy. Like, it's not even a thought, you know? And it's been so, it's not saying that, you know, because I'm a woman, I need someone to open the door for me or anything like that. I mean, I just know when I'm out with my daddy gonna open the door. Like, he gonna get mad if I reach for that door and he with me and I reach for a door. He gonna be like, what are you doing? Like, you don't touch no doors when you with me. Like, what are you doing? Right? So, but men not like that no more. They not raised like that. And since they not raised like that and women don't expect that of them, they don't do it. Women don't even think about it like that. We don't think about, I mean, as a woman, for real, if you're watching it live or you watching the playback, whenever you're watching it, drop in the comments. Let me know the last time you really expected a man to open the door for you. I'm talking about going on a date. He come to pick you up, get out the car, walk around, open your door. You know what I'm saying? Open the door to the restaurant. Y'all get back in the car. He opens your door. Like, when is the last time you even expected that out of someone? And if you're a man, when is the last time you ever did that? I mean, the last time you've done that for someone. Are we teaching our sons that? I don't know how many times I just been out with like my cousins, nephews, or whatever. We going out to eat. They think I'm gonna hold the door for them. Boy, if you don't hold this door, like, are we even teaching our sons that no more? Again, we're not raising our sons to be husbands. I don't know what we raising them to be. Cause I mean, I don't know. I really don't know. I don't know what they're being raised to be nowadays. They were like to be emotionless creatures. Don't cry. You supposed to be tough. Like, you know, all that kind of stuff or whatever. But it's like, we're not raising them to be able to express themselves, express their emotions. We have to change the way. Here's the thing. My husband opened the door for me all the time. Of course, Mrs. Walker. You're not in this generation. Not in this younger generation, baby. They not doing it. Of course your husband do. Y'all probably been married for 30 years. Not doing it. But I'm just saying, like, no, but for real. But that's what I'm talking about. That's what I'm saying. Like, my dad, he's gonna open the door. You know what I'm saying? But I don't think about the generation that's like in my generation, you know what I'm saying? They not opening no doors. They'll let a door close on you coming out the gas station. Like, they not even holding doors, you know? They'll do, and I just feel like that is so rude. Like, I'm a woman, I hold door for if I see somebody walking behind me. I just feel like it's rude, you know, to not even do that or whatever. So yeah, I feel like that's rude. It just in general. But like I said, it's all about, it's one thing about it, when women don't have standards, men don't have nothing to try to raise the bar or live up to. And then when you have so many women with lower standards, how I was just saying in the first half, when you have so many women with lower standards and they feel like they come across a woman with high standards, they ain't got to do this. They ain't got to rise to the occasion. They just gonna go get the woman with the lower standards. You know what I'm saying? But then that's when you have to be able to, it's also about what you have to offer. You know, a lot of women they don't offer peace. They don't offer support. They don't offer stability. They don't offer, what am I trying to say? Not nutrients, but nature, nurturance. Is that the word I'm trying to say? Like, yeah, they don't offer those type of things to what men really need to be men. You know, we expect men to be out here and do all the things that a man is supposed to do, provide, protect, security, you know what I'm saying, et cetera, whatever it is in your mind that a man is supposed to do for you. But it's like, as a woman, what are you supposed to do for that man? Right? Don't nobody want to be out fighting the world, especially our men. They have so much on their plate every day when they walk outside those doors. As soon as they get inside of society, they got to think about police. They got to think about mistreatment on their job. They got to think about mistreatment from their fellow brother man. They got to think about mistreatment. It can come from in any direction. They don't want to come home and go to war with you too. They don't want to, you know what I'm saying? They don't want to come home and then have to figure out what they're going to eat when they got somebody just sitting here. But I'm just saying, it's certain things. It's like, as a woman, because women are not taught now, I don't know, because the generations are getting younger and younger with having children. Should they not even getting taught to be raised as wives no more? You know what I'm saying? They getting raised to be independent. You don't need no man for nothing. Your daddy ain't never gonna be here. Ain't no man gonna never do nothing for you. Those type of things that they hearing. So then they get older, and we put ourselves back in these cycles of generations of generational curses that we can't get out of, and that we just carry on and pass on to the next generation to handle, for the next generation to handle. But no, we got to do something different with ourselves. We have to understand that this is a time of transformation. We are in the age of Aquarius. We are in the age of awakening. It's time for us to start doing things differently and creating better, stronger generations coming forward. Not saying that we're not a strong generation, because we are, but we got to be able to understand that our people are better together. The yin and the yang, the masculine and the feminine side, the masculine and the feminine energy. You need both of them to be able to out here and really manifest the reality that it is that you want, to be able to have the power as a human being that you are entitled to. Your God-given power is activated by a completeness, a wholeness, right? I mean, and yes, you have it without, but just think about the power of one. That's how they say two minds is always better than one. You can get further with two, because especially if you got the opposite positions, if you're able to actually find someone that you can spend 30 years with, that you can come home and talk to day in and day out. Do you know what type of bond that is? Type of unconditional, what type of partner that you have in this world? Like, there's nothing like that. There's nothing like it. But for some reason, the ideal has been pulled from us that we don't need it. And here's my thing, because it's almost my time. Ain't that second half went by faster than the first. But what was I saying? I didn't lost my train of thought. But here's my thing. When society is pushing so hard against something, it just makes me realize that that's how important that is, right? The more and more society is pushing an agenda on you, independent, you don't need no man, you can do this all on your own, women just your downfall, all the other things that they put in music and everything like that. They have all these stories, all these narratives they give to keep us apart, to keep the baby daddy, baby mama drama going. They want that because they want you to put your baby daddy on child support so he can be in the system and he can become a legal slave. Let's be real, right? You know what I'm saying? Government assistance. They want you to be a single mom. So you need the government to survive. They want you to be waiting on food stamps. They want you to be waiting on a Section 8 voucher. They want to be the person, the hand that feeds you. Why? Because if I feed you, I control when you eat. If I feed you, I control how you live. I control where you lay your head. All the type of things that we thought we was free from, right? Free from someone telling us when and what we can eat. Free from somebody telling us how much we can work or when to work or where we can live or where we can sleep or what we can do with our children. All these type of things or whatever. Things we're supposed to be free from. No, they just found a smarter way to do it. Now it's worse because we're in the illusion that we're free, falling into all the traps that make us not free. It's crazy because people don't think about it like that. Why you think you go to get government assistance? The first thing they say, you got to put your baby daddy on child support. What's your baby daddy name? Give us the name. They want them in the system. They want to put them in jail. Legal slavery. That's what they want to do. They want to keep them separated. And then, wow, you out here having little boys. They don't want no father in the home. Don't teach them how to be a man. We want them to be a thug. So by the time he's 15, 16, he in the system too. You know what I'm saying? Like it's a strategic plan that we just go along with. We don't question it. We ain't trying to deprogram it. We ain't trying to fight against the plan. None of that. We just like, oh, that's the plan. Let's go. I don't need you. IEDPEND. You know what I'm saying? Like, what? I'm the first one to tell you I need my man. Whether I need them for emotional support, physical support, security sense, emotional support, whatever. You know what I'm saying? I ain't never gonna be one to tell you that I don't. Ever. Because it's crazy to even have the idea, to even have that saying for people to think that's even okay. Like, that's crazy. We shouldn't teach that. We need to let that go. Because that stuff don't do nothing but help keep us apart. And apart ain't working for us. Ain't no financial wealth, ain't no generational wealth out here. You can't build it on your own. You can't build it on your own. You can't put your children in better situations that you were in out here trying to having the government feed them. You know what I'm saying? Needing the government to even be able to take care of them. That ain't the way it's supposed to be. It's not cute. There's nothing cute about it. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's not cool. Like, any of that. It's embarrassing. It's kind of disgusting. You know what I'm saying? Like, and I don't mean to just sound like, I don't know, I'm not downing anybody who, gets those things or whatever, needs those things. I'm just saying, don't get comfortable with it. Don't feel like that's your life. Like, try to find a way out. Use it as a stepping stone to get somewhere further in life. Use it as a stepping stone to build you up further. Use it as a stepping stone to have further betterness for your children. Don't just lay down and accept it for what it is. Question everything. I always tell people, we gotta question everything that, people tell us to do, all these type of things like that. Like, all of that has to be questioned. We have to be able to decipher between truth and falsehood and actually live in our truth. So, I hope this, this show sparks some thoughts in your mind. Maybe something you'll do different with your children. Whatever. Like, I just hope it sparks some type of thought that leads to some type of change and betterment for your situation, for your children's situation, whatever. And again, if you are in a baby daddy, baby mama situation, learn how to co-parent. You know what I'm saying? Don't fall into the narrative of being arch enemies. Don't fall into the narrative of hating each other and being bitter, anything like that. Accept the relationship for what it is and learn how to co-parent for the betterment of the children. So with that, I'm going to go into the Holy Covenant of Asiatic Nation before we get out of here tonight. You are the children of one father. Is it too early? I seen your face. I got 2 minutes. Okay. You are the children of one father, provided for by his care, in the breast of one mother, have given you suck. Let the bonds of affection, therefore, unite thee with thy brothers, that peace and happiness may dwell in our Father's house. And when you separate in the world, remember the relation that bondeth you to love and unity, and prefer not a stranger before thy own blood. If thy brother's in adversity, assist him. If thy sister's in trouble, protect her not. So shall the fortunes of thy Father contribute to the support of his whole race and his care be continued to you all in your love to each other. Peace. I didn't get my nails done. I was about to say, I probably did.